Tornado, truth or turmoil? Jamie's claim about Dakota divides Hollywood. Hollywood never sleeps. But that night, the lights seemed brighter than usual, not because of the red carpet or the premiere, but because of a confession that left the entire entertainment industry breathless. Jamie sat alone in the small conference room behind the studio. No cameras, no host, just a soft yellow lamp, an old wooden table, and a cup of cold coffee. He looked down at his hands, hands that had once held million-dollar scripts, that had appeared on hundreds of posters, now trembling strangely. "There are things I've kept silent about for too long," Jamie said, his voice low and hoarse. "And that silence almost destroyed me." The news spread like lightning. The moment the silence broke. For years, Jamie had been the epitome of discretion. He avoided public confrontations, dodged, digging, interviews, and skillfully deflected questions about his private life. But that night, everything changed. "She used our past to threaten me," he said. "Not with physical force, but with fear." The keyword, threat, immediately went viral on social media. The biggest entertainment accounts all posted, "Shocking, bombshell, Hollywood shaken." But Jamie didn't stop there. "In this world," he continued, "the truth can be twisted. And when you're in the spotlight, sometimes you're forced to choose between a career and peace." Locked up memories. Jamie went back to years ago, when a film was a huge success, when the filming schedule was packed, when interviews followed one after another without end. In that whirlwind, every relationship became fragile. "We used to be very close," he said, carefully choosing his words. But that closeness was distorted when pressure mounted. According to the narrative, in this fictional world, vague messages, reminders of things that shouldn't be in the news, began to appear. Not direct threats, but suggestions that kept him awake at night. "You ask yourself, if I speak out, will everything explode?" Jamie sighed. "And then you stay silent. You think silence will save everything. Silence has its price." For Jamie, silence wasn't an escape, it was a survival strategy. He continued acting, continued smiling in front of the camera. But behind the scenes, an invisible wall was erected. "There were days when I felt like I was playing the lead role in my own life," he said. "You say safe things. You avoid eye contact. You learn to breathe softly." Close associates say Jamie became obsessively cautious. Every email was carefully considered, every meeting involved a third party. A once free-spirited star suddenly became withdrawn. Dakota, a different perspective. While Jamie broke the silence, Dakota, the central figure in the storm, remained silent. No statements, no responses. But that silence only fueled public outrage. A fabricated insider source claimed, "Things aren't that simple. There are misunderstandings piled up, words taken out of context." Hollywood is accustomed to two-sided stories. And without direct dialogue, each side becomes a character in the story the public continues to write. Media pressure mounted. In just 24 hours, major entertainment programs dedicated airtime to the incident. Headlines flashed in bright red. "Jamie breaks silence. A secret Hollywood didn't want you to hear. Truth or tactic?" Jamie refused to appear live. He chose to write an open letter to the public. "I am not seeking judgment," the letter reads. "I only want the truth, at least my truth, to exist." The letter and the chain reaction. The letter not only calmed Jamie's supporters, it also prompted skeptics to question, why now? Why this particular time? "Because I was ready," Jamie explained in a private conversation, "ready to face the consequences." The consequences came quickly. Advertising contracts were reconsidered. Interview schedules were postponed, but simultaneously, a wave of support emerged. People who believed that speaking out, however late, was still commendable. Behind the glamour. In this fictional world, the story isn't just about two people, it's about the power dynamics of Hollywood. When images become assets, when rumors become weapons, the lines between right and wrong blur. We love stories, Jamie said. But we forget that real people live inside those stories. A meeting without cameras. Sources say, in the story, there was a private meeting, no lawyers, no managers, no press. Just the two of them, in a quiet room. We talked about fear, Jamie recounted. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel the need to be defensive. No one knows the details of the meeting. All that is known is that afterward, both were quieter, but less tense than before. The truth has many layers. Jamie didn't ask the public to believe him. He only asked them to listen. The truth isn't a straight line, he said. It's a labyrinth. And in that labyrinth, each person carries their own memories, emotions, and fears. The price of speaking out. When the storm had subsided somewhat, Jamie returned to the studio. He worked more quietly, more focused. A colleague remarked, "He looks relieved." "I may have lost a few things," Jamie admitted. "But I got my voice back." Hollywood the next day. The industry continued to spin. New news emerged. But Jamie's story left a scar, a reminder that behind the sensational headlines are people trying to protect themselves. When silence is no longer an option. Jamie concludes with a simple statement. If this story helps someone dare to speak out, then today's uproar is worth it. Hollywood lights up again, but somewhere amidst those lights, a fictional truth has fulfilled its mission. To make people think about power, silence, and the price of speaking out.